Hello, 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 and welcome. I was about to say hola because I'm giving this class in Spanish and English, so I just mixed up. Hello, hello. Nice to have you again with us for the third day on these free training sessions that we call the agreements with the earth. I was saying that in some way we need to change. We are trying. You are realizing, me and everyone I know are realizing that something has to change. Actually, it's changing. We can see it in the weather, we can see it in the way we uh, relate to each other. Suddenly, a dystopian world is coming. There's no hope on the future. And I have 4 daughters, and I want them to have their own child. So, in some way, we have to take responsibility to assume those changes. We were saying in the first day and the second day yesterday that we we are we are getting inspired by these tribes in the Andes that we call Keros Nation. These people, in some way, in very elementary way, they are merged in the landscape, and that situation comes from their own way of life. I say that they were farmers. They look after their livestock, their handcraft masters, and at the same time they have a very unique way to be in touch with the spirits. I use that word because I think that is the proper word. You can use it. You can use vital force. You can use divine presence. Okay, but for them, they are spirits. They are presence that are in a higher hierarchy. I don't know if that's properly said. Higher hierarchy. So the spirits, they look after the people, but at the same time, they could punish them. The relationship is a bit odd. It's different that we can think of. There's a mixture between love and fear. Suddenly, most of the people I teach, they don't understand that sense. Most of us approach to spirituality to get merged into the deep love. That's great. But at the same time, we have to realize that the lack of presence, the lack of attention, the lack of devotion put us in a position of anguish, or being away of the contact with the spirits or with the divine presence. And that's fear, that's anguish. So we have to realize that in some way we need to be care of from the organizing principles of the landscape, because we need to wake up tomorrow and we need to have light to walk to our work. I mean, we that this could be obvious, but we just think that tomorrow the sun will gonna come out from the horizon again, and that's given. But for the people of the land, that's not given. That's an answer of my prayers. That's an answer of my relationship. The presence of the sun comes in an answer of the love and respect that I have for Taita Inti, the father son. So because of the relationship, the, 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 the things happens because of my will and love for this. I'm looking to a banana tree here in front of me, and the love, the appreciation, the admiration of the bananas growing first green and small, and then like expanding and transforming in beautiful yellow and smelly fruit. That kind of miracle make us feel admiration, but at the same time, and that's the point of today, we have to realize that if we don't have that relationship, suddenly we can be away of those miracles. We can have a life without miracles. And as you can see, so many people live today in this world without realizing that they live in a miraculous place, a miraculous situations. It's full of miracles around. Actually, we as beings, it's a miracle. So we, as we can see in our world, there should be some kind of urgency, emergency, absolutely need inside to arrive to this kind of language we're gonna talk about today, offerings. An urgency to have an answer, an urgency to feel the maybe the end of our life, an illness, a grave illness. Suddenly we lose our job or we lose our husband or wife or the relationship. We have a very big trouble with the relationship with our children. Don't know, situations that suddenly transform you in a fragile being, and that's maybe it's changing your mind about how spirituality should be, but we need to put ourselves in the right position. We're fragile, we are ephemeral, we are part of a big web, very small part, simple and humble part. And in those situations when we feel fragile, it's not the perfect, it's the only one, it's the only way to connect with the spirit. Humbly. There's not other way. So if you live in the high mountains at 5,000 meters above the sea level, living in a very difficult situations, planting your potatoes and planting corn in the jungle. You know, it's interesting. They are farmers in different levels or ecological levels. So when I say they, the Keros Nation, they plant corn in 1,800 meters above the ground, but they leave the plantation. They plant and leave the plantations and hope to thrive, and then return like 3 months after and see what happens. So in that sense, being a farmer, not just them, any farmer, you are exposed to the grace of the weather, of the soil, of the insects, the landscape. The landscape could give you the grace of abundance or hungry. So that kind of relationship is so important, because we, as we developed our way of living, we are all the time trying to feel some kind of control of our life. Some kind, actually, you can see your own life. Suddenly, our life breaks apart. All that control that we built up for so many years, we were training for that, and suddenly crumbles. So if you are a farmer in the high Andes, or if you are a teacher in Germany, at some point you can feel that urgency. And that's the right tune, like music, a right tune to open your heart, to connect with the spirit. The people of the Andes, when a situation is critical, they ask for the Paco. Paco, as I said, is the women or men specialized in invoke, connect with the spirits. So they perform a haiwarikui. I'm gonna write it here. Haiwarikui. Haiwarikui. Haiwa in Quechua language. It means to offer, to offer, to give, to give. And rikui is a beautiful particle that puts a deep feeling. Rikui is like deep feeling. Haiwarikui in that sense means the deep feeling of offering. The deep feeling of offering. So haiwariku is translated as an offering, but there's many other ways, many other words in Spanish that translated in Spanish, like despacho. Another word is pago, like payment. Sometimes pago and pagamento, you can hear that especially in Cusco, pago y pagamento. Those kind of offerings sometimes answer to errors or situations that you are in debt with spirits. So you are paying a, a kind of spiritual correspondence to your debt. But there's another way to say it, is adelanto. Adelanto is another way to call a high watt equine offering. Adelanto means to update, an update, to bring something that is outdated, out of time, to bring it back to the present. I say that Pachamama was translated as the mother of existence, because existence is a dance between space and time. Actually, Pacha in Quechua is used for space situations and time situations. So space and time together, existence. If our existence is out of date, suddenly we have a weight in our back, pushing us in our way. So we need to adelantar, to update our life. I said yesterday that energetically speaking, we call it hucha, dense energy, situations that we couldn't solve, or we didn't pay enough attention to close some cycles, and we were holding some kind of tension that at some point goes behind the curtains of our consciousness, but it's there and it's waiting. So an offering, it's a beautiful, one of the most beautiful expressions of the Andean mystical traditions. We can say that it's a mixture of an aesthetic expression, an aesthetic apparatus, an aesthetic expression. So in that sense, it's like a mandala, using different elements that I listed in the group. Using those elements, we're gonna create like a mandala. Writing with those elements, writing a letter to, in this case, Pachamama. We're gonna practice this so we can write a letter saying to Pachamama what is making me suffer and what is making me feel joy. So I'm grateful for that. So I'm saying to my mother, to Pachamama, how I am and how I think I could be helped. We need to break the boundaries in our perception to understand that Pachamama is a mother, like our mother. And sometimes, as a mother, helps us with a caress, and sometimes she push ourselves to the situations. In some way, punish us. But if we are open enough to the connection with our mother, we will realize that always she's trying to make us plentifulness. It's not just about happiness, it's about being alive. There's a little difference. Happiness, in that sense, is not a permanent state. Actually, life wants us to appreciate that we are alive, still alive. That's the meaning of the threat of the death, the imminent death, making us remember that we are part of this miracle. So, with all that, I wanted to say this because I want you to understand how to go, how to internally, how to position it, how to put yourself in front of an offering. Urgency, humbleness, openness, so sonkochakui, as I said yesterday. And in some way, we have to come back to a child perception because we need to play as a child. We need to be wise as an old man or woman, but we should be playing as a child because we need to understand that all those elements will transform themselves, not just representing something like a symbol, a symbolic element, not just representing. They will present uh, ourselves to the spirit. They will help us to encounter the spirits face to face. That's the intent of the offering. So we're gonna play with these elements. I ask you to find, if you can find, if you could find it, great. If you can't find it, if you don't have it right now, just follow me, and at some point, someday, after you invite your friends, after you feel the need, for that kind of connection with your landscape, you can practice in a beautiful sunset, for example, or in an important date, in your birthday or your friend's birthday. This kind of offering that we are gonna perform right now is a traditional southern Peruvian style, but there are many ways to offer to the spirits of the landscape. Sometimes in a hole in the ground, sometimes with different elements, with different ways, even ways. There are many kind of offerings. This is, I'm gonna end a cycle. Sometimes to ask for inspiration, sometimes for ask for a trip or a pilgrimage or a change of your life. Sometimes to protect yourself from a situation. Sometimes when you feel urgency in your soul. So those many offerings distinguish an an experienced Paco or a young Paco. A young Paco is learning offerings, but at some point, when they're old, when they're wise, they know many kind of offerings. Those offerings could be helping people, but they could be helping livestock, or could help a crop. It could help a community, not just an individual, a community, a couple of people, a family, an island, a big town, the whole planet. Why not? So we're gonna perform this Haiwariku with all our heart, and I want you to join me in the place you are, trying to connect, following every step of the offering with your curiosity, but at the same time with your heart open. In some way, you, wherever you are, and me are connected. So if you are here, if you are listening, this is an opportunity to play together and write a letter to the mother. So I'm going to change my camera here and going to show you how I set up my Haiwarikui scenario. Okay. I'm going to put the camera here. Great. So now I'm going to sit in the other part, so you can, maybe you won't see my face, but I want you to see all the performing. Okay, so I have extended a piece of paper, like gift paper, gift wrapping paper, which has some flowers. I chose these flowers because they were red, and the red color is associated to Pachamama. So we're going to use any kind of wrapping paper, but more or less 50 centimeters, 70 centimeters wide. I already pre-bended, like mark it in this way. I mark it, dividing it in three in a vertical sense, like this. And I mark it, and I divide it again in three, like this and like this. So if I mark the paper, when I open it, I can see where I'm going to work in the middle. We're gonna write our letter in the middle of our paper. So before we start, as traditionally they put these two keros, a feminine and a masculine, and they give the first bit of drink, as I said, red wine for Pachamama, and the spirit for the Apu, for the masculine aspect of the land. And we're gonna hold it in our heart and feel the presence of the masculine and feminine force dancing together, loving together. creating and recreating life. And we blow. I'm gonna blow, and now we're gonna put it in the ground. So just wait for me a second. I just pour it in the soil, in the ground. So now we're ready. After we give our landscape some drink, we're ready. So I'm gonna put a bit more red wine. And the spirit. In this case, it's called, how to say it? In Portuguese, we call it, not cañazo. Well, I'm not specialized in spirits, but this is a spirit coming from the sugar cane. Well, so we're gonna start first with the leaves, the coca leaves. So we're gonna choose 3 leaves as we did the other day, healthy and shiny leaves. It could be bay leaves, it could be eucalyptus, or any kind of leaves that have this shape, and they could be sacred leaves. So I'm gonna choose 3 leaves, and I'm gonna feel in my heart. I don't know if you see it. I'm gonna feel in my heart the connection with the feminine part, my feminine aspect. It's not about gender, it's about the essence. So we call for this feminine aspect, and let my heart to communicate with Mama Kuka, to communicate, to say something to the leaves. And then we blow, and we're gonna take a little red flower, as I ask you in the list, and put it on top of the kintu, and put some red wine on the kintu, and put it in the middle, in the left part of our field. So in the middle, in the left part. So again, we're going to choose another kintu. Another 3 leaves of coca leaves. And the same thing, we take it to our heart. And now we connect with the masculine aspect. We connect with Taita Inti. We connect with our own father, with our own grandfather, with masculine energy inside. And we blow. And choose a white flower. Is the The red color is for Pachamama, the white color is for the Apu. And put some spirit on it. And we want to put it in the right side in the middle, in the right side. We're going to choose one more Kintu. And we're going to connect with the feeling of imagine that we are watching the sun coming out from the horizon, a sunrise. And for that, we're going to call the presence of the wind. And I'm saying that, and believe it or not, I'm hearing the wind coming. The presence of Taitawaira and the east direction, Taitawaira, and call it from your heart the power of the air, the beginnings, the beginning of the existence, Pakaripacha, the beginning of the day. And blow, we're going to put it in the top, up in the top of the field. The east direction in our paper is going to be up in the upper part of the field. We're going to choose again 3 more leaves. And we're going to imagine that we are in the middle of the day, in a midday hot sun, the fire of the midday, that fire that is pushing to passion and transformation and transmutation, the fire that changes in a second the conditions of anything. So we're going to call the unique power of the fire and Taitanina. That's the Quechua name, Taitanina. Grandfather fire comes and assists us. Hampui, Hampui. Hampui is a powerful word calling, invoking, asking for the presence of the spirit. Hampui Taitanina. Blow it. And we're going to put it in the right part, in the middle, in the right part of the field. This is the south. Again, 3 more leaves. And we're gonna call to the spirits of the west. And we're gonna imagine a sunset. And we're gonna connect with the unique power of the waters, the fluidity, the cleaning capability. And we're gonna call the name of Mama Cocha. Mama Cocha. That's the Quechua name for the mother of the waters. We're gonna say Hampui Mama Cocha, Hampui Mama Cocha, Hampui Mama Cocha, and blow your leaves and put it in down in your offering, down in your offering. So the lower part of your field is related to the west. And one more time, we're going to choose 3 more leaves. Take it to your heart and feel the presence of the earth. And imagine a black night, like the black soil, full of fertile energy. We're gonna invoke the unique power of the earth, calling in Quechua language, Alpamama, Hampuy Alpamama, Hampuy Alpamama, Hampuy Alpamama, the mother of the earth, the presence of the earth. And blow. I'm gonna put it in the left part of our offering. So now we have a field created with coca leaves. And now we're gonna call the presence of our ancestors. So we're gonna use raisins. The raisins are used to remember our ancestors. So put it in your heart and feel and remember all the people you knew that were part of your lineage, or the people you heard of. And then imagine all the men and women that were part of this stream of lives that helps you to be here and right now. And call them, Hampuy, Hampuy, Hampuy. All my ancestors, come here, be present here. So with the raisins, we're gonna create a link, like circle. We're gonna play with it. Create a circle around the directions, circulating the 2 first quintus. So in this circle, as we do it, don't think too much, just play and remember your grandfathers, your great grandfather, if you were lucky you knew them. All those people who dream on the children, the grandchildren, and you are here and now asking for presence, for inspiration, for blessings. Okay. So we encircle the first 2 quintus, Pachamama y Taita Inti. Now, as we need this offering to be fed, because this is like our message is gonna travel through the ways of the spirit. So we need to give food to this message. So I'm gonna use corn because we planted this. This is a corn cob from our vegetable garden, and I'm gonna use some beans that we planted. So take your corn The corn for the Andean people is very important. It's the mother of the food, the nutrition. Not just food, nutrition. They call it Mama Sara, and that's the main spirit of nutrition. So with Mama Sara, I'm gonna give food and nutritious, and I'm gonna use Mama Sara to be grateful for the nutritions I have in my life, and ask for never to to need any kind of food, not just food for our belly, food for our mind, food for our emotions. So we blow it and put it. We're gonna put some in the directions. And we're gonna put some more in the middle. In the lower part of the circle. The lower part. This corn is more orange and red, so it's more feminine. So I put it. The feminine aspect is related with red colors and the dark colors, and is always in the left or down in the directions. And the white is related to the masculine, is to the right and up. So I'm gonna use the beans that are clear and be grateful for, especially for the food, for good food, for the food that is all the time in our tables, help giving us strength and pleasure. So blow it and put it in the top of your circle. So, as I said, we are grateful and asking for blessings, for never to need any kind of food in our life, in the peoples I know, in anyone. So now we're gonna use, I ask you for a medicinal plant. I'm gonna use this plant. Is called boldo here. It's help us in liver disease or liver difficulties. So I'm gonna use this plant to ask for health, not just for me, for the people I know, for anyone who is suffering from an illness. So I'm gonna blow in the leaves and put it in between of the directions. If you are sharing this offering with someone else, you can ask other people to connect with, for example, this aspect, the health, especially if someone needs some kind of blessing, if it's illness or if someone in his or her family needs some bless. You can ask him or her to put the leaves in this moment. You can correct the position of the element at any moment because you want to be precise in the message. Now, I'm going to use sugar. And I ask you two kinds of sugars because the white one is related to the apple, to the masculine aspect, and the brown sugar is related to Pachamama. And sugar, as we love the sweet, most human beings love sweets, and that's not uncommon. The first taste we experienced was the milk of our mother, and that milk is sweet. So sugar is like the caress of a mother. So I'm going to use white and brown sugar to connect with the masculine and the feminine aspect. So I'm going to use white sugar for the top, like the mountain, creating an arch outside of the circle, the middle. So put as much as you think is good. It's like snow. Snow and sugar are in the same aesthetic pattern. So we use sugar to connect on top of our circle and brown sugar for Pachamama. Just take your time. The traditional offerings take a lot of time. They're very relaxed and playing and sometimes chatting or being silent. All right. So now I want to put some candies and some chocolate. I had a little difficulty here right now. I have my daughter, 4 years old, and her friend who is 10 years old, and they ate some of my candies that I prepare for the offering. So I'm gonna put some chocolate to give more substance in this aspect. Why do we put candies? You know, Pachamama is like a child. It's like a child. It's the divine child. So let your imagination makes you feel that Pachamama is a little child and you have to give her candies. So if you have colored candies better, just put them around and give some color to your center. Okay. And at the same with chocolate. Chocolate is like passion, and it's a fruit of a lot of how do you call it in English? Well, I think passion could help me. And that sweet, that taste is making us feel so good. So bit of chocolate is always helping in your offerings. Okay. So now we're gonna put some how to say this, cookies in the shapes of animals, and for them, for the the Andean people, they represent their livestock. So their livestock is not just what they produce. They are animals that help them to be in touch with the Apu, and they give them food and they give them the materials for the clothes, like this poncho. So it's very important aspect is the materialized divine aspect. So imagine in your house, maybe it could be your car, your furniture, your house is material, but at the same time, it helps you to live good life. So we are being grateful for everything we have with the cookies. So put them around like playing in this garden that we are creating with the offering. Okay. So at this stage, we put a lot of elements. And now we're going to concentrate in the middle of the offering. It's called the center. And we're going to use a shell, a seashell. We're going to use, the shell is going to represent the feminine aspect, like a vessel. And we're going to use a stick. I have a cinnamon stick here to represent the masculine aspect. And we're going to choose one more kintu that will represent our heart, our loving heart. Munay Sonko. So choose 3 leaves. Put it in your heart and try to connect your heart with the leaves. It's like your heart talking to the leaves. And when you feel that click, that sense, you put your kintu inside of the shell and put the stick on top. So you're gonna create with the shell and the stick and the kintu, the mother, the father, and the child. And with this, you're gonna feel that the opposites connect together. They find together in the same place. They encounter in the center of your offering. So this is gonna bring the main wish. If you want to ask something, this is the moment. So put it in your heart and take a moment, silently feel the urgency of this moment. What's the urgency? What makes you feel fragile? What makes you feel humble and small, vulnerable? And from that feeling, ask for the Mother help, inspiration, protection. If you are sharing this offering with others, you can ask them to help you, passing the shell to everyone that is present, and everyone is giving not orally, silently, the wish they want, they need. So after that, blow it and put it in the middle, right in the middle. So now we're gonna use cotton to recreate or represent the clouds. For the Andean people, the clouds are a permanent feature of the landscape. So clouds needs to come and give us the rain. So we're gonna encircle our offering with clouds. The clouds are related, Puyuy, that's the Quechua name, are related to the rain, and the rain is needed for our crops. So we need clouds. We need them to be here helping us to bring in good fortune our crops. And now we're gonna use flowers. I choose white and red flowers, small ones. I don't have carnation here. I don't have carnation, but I have white and small white and red flowers. But you can use any kind of red and white flowers. So we're gonna use those flowers to bring our gratitude for the beauty, not just the aesthetic beauty, but the beauty of being alive, the beauty of having this kind of life, the beauty of still breathing. So we're gonna blow first for the white ones, and we're gonna put them in the right part of our offering. Just find a way to look beautiful around your offering. Take your time and put them, bringing in value this moment. So in the right part of your offering, the white flowers. And in the left part of your offering, we're gonna put the left part, red flowers. So as you take some time to put them in the right position, in the way you think is good, it's like meditation. So forget about time, forget about being productive. Just play with your flowers and find a way to look beautiful. Okay, one more. One more. Okay, that's good. One more here. That's it. Great. So the red ones in the left, the white ones in the right. Now we're gonna put a silver ribbon. It represents the circle of life, the Tiximuyu. So we're gonna encircle our offering with this ribbon. And we're gonna call the presence of the rainbow. The rainbow is called Kuichi. I ask you for different colors ribbons. I have this traditional ribbon from the Andes. It's colorful. So we need something that is colorful to bring the diversity. The rainbow brings fertility and diversity. So we're gonna put the rainbow on top of our offering. Great. And now we're gonna use glitter to bring some celebration to our offering, shining like stars. So bring some shining stars, Mama Chaska. So we finish the elements. I'm gonna try to show you a bit closer. I don't know if you can see it better. Right here. So it's colorful, it's full of elements, and never is the same. In some way, just answering to this moment. In this moment, this is the message. So now it's not done yet because we need to wake up all these elements to the spirits. So if you have, this is the traditional bundle, the Andean bundle is called Misa. And our Misa is always having some bells and some rattles. So we're gonna play it. If you have a bell, that's great. If you don't have a bell, you can I don't know how to say it in English, like make your hands sing. Please help me. Well, we need to call the spirits with this sound. So I'm gonna play my bell, and as I play it, as the sound comes, you ask the people around you to help you out and call for the spirits. Call for this message to be alive. And finally, we're going to close our offering, our Haiwariko. First, in the lower part of our offering, then the top, with a lot of care. If is our devotional message. Now, in the left part, and the right part. Right. And now we're gonna use some kind of string to tie it. So I'm gonna tie my offering. Okay. And with the flowers, we choose the special flowers. We're gonna put them to make it ready for El Paso. I'm gonna explain it right now. So it's ready. Our offering is ready. Now it's important that our offering eats all our dense energy. So this is traditionally made from any master to pass clean your body with the offering, but you can just place your hand on top of your misa and ask everyone around to place our hands and feel or imagine that from your hand all the dense energy come off of your body and feeds our offering. So you get that sense that you are giving all the dense, all the outdated energy out of your body to your offering. It feeds it. It's like fuel for our offering. And finally, we clap our hands and hug together. And now I'm gonna give you some ideas of what you have to do with your offering. I'm gonna change the camera. Okay. Okay. So after you finish, there's some ways to pasar. I don't know how to say it in English, like passing the message. The most common way and the most recommended way is to burn it out. You have to make a bonfire in your garden or a safe place, please, safe place. But it should be a big enough bonfire to burn everything inside of the offering. So you have to prepare the bonfire. When it's full of flames, it's very hot, you put the offering on top of it and you leave, because Pachamama is going to come and eat the message, and you can't be there when she's eating. So you leave it, you leave the Pachamama eat your offering, and then you can come after the fire extinguish, and you could look into the ashes if the shell breaks away or disappear. That's a way to check if your message is received. You have to make the, the the reason why you have to make a big bonfire. It should be burned to the ashes, so the message gets to Pachamama. And after that, you pay attention to the signals. Maybe you will be answered, or the prayers, the wishes you asked, maybe they could be answered in the little details of your life, your daily life. So I encourage you to perform this kind of beautiful ritual with the people you love, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your workmates, everyone you can feel that they have the urgency to speak with the mother. So it's a bit late as usual. I'm sorry. Thank you, Akash Sharma. I too participate and I offer my offerings. That's great, Akash Sharma. Amandine, this is beautiful. Isa, hi from. See, I don't know how to say that. Please help me out. That's an acronym from ZGZ. Don't know. Ya veo que Daniela Franco Alonso está por ahí, doña Nina, qué bueno. Y también está Clara Luz, qué bueno. Pilláis son collai. Well, just play with it. The offering is kind of more than a ritual or a performance. It's an attitude. You can be offering everything in every moment of your day. You wash your dishes and you offer your attention. You can cook your food or do whatever you do for work, and that's an offering. You walk to look after your your parents or grandparents, that's an offering. You pay attention to someone in your neighborhood, that's an offering. An offering is an attitude more than a technique to receive the blessings of the mother. It's an attitude that is making you feel closer to the spirits. So I thank you for being there, for being present, for sharing with me this moment. And tomorrow we're gonna have some time to talk in the WhatsApp chat at the same time, 4 p.m. East time. So write your questions or your doubts or whatever you want to get deeper save your question for tomorrow, and I'm gonna share with you some music links, some documentaries, maybe some text to help you improve or to be more curious about this path, the spiritual path, the Andean mystical path. So thank you for being there. Urpillai sonkollai, urpichai sonkochai, and see you tomorrow in the WhatsApp chat. Bye bye, my friends. Bye bye. Thank you, thank you, thank you.